Believes with all his heart in our students and in their futures. His impact is already being felt here, and he is just so easy to like. Thank you, Brian. I feel like we've grown up together, Kathy and Tom and I. I was just over 40 years old when we met, and still the new kid on the block here at Washington University. They were just out of undergrad, and so barely 22 years old. I was already getting older and balder, and they were just beginning the rest of their lives. Kathy was her normal state of eager and excited about her new life in a new city with new friends. Tom was already cruising the pews. Also quite eager, but this time for a partner. They met in those front steps out there. They wooed each other over the next several months together all over this place, trying to figure things out, as most all of our students are. They started sitting closer and closer together in these very pews. They started making friends together in this very community, many of which are here in these pews tonight. And Tom proposed to Kathy in this very backyard on that long since shredded hammock out there. Many of the walks we took together on these very sidewalks and in that very forest park. And 25 years ago, they got married on that very spot. And over those 25 years, we've expanded this little chapel 3 times now to its maximum capacity. And now they expanded their family to 6 kids. And they've taken their place mostly over there in those pews on that side of our chapel. And 3 of those kids are about the same age as they were when I met them. And it's all been a blessing beyond words to me personally, to be part of the phenomenon that is the Summers family, and to be godfather to one of their kids who now plays drums for us when he comes home from college, and to be the namesake of their youngest, Augustin Gary, now. I think somewhere along the line I promised them a Newman Award if they ever but I'd like you to meet little Augie Gary. Augie, would you stand up? You turn around and shout. Jesus once said, if someone asks you to go 1 mile with them, then go with them for 2. Someone else said, there are no traffic jams along that extra mile. After making the mistake of moving to West County, St. Clair Parish, they literally went the extra miles and moved back to the city, not even a mile from the Catholic Student Center, just one really long block just over there, and became an even bigger part of our mission. And all the while, they together made a place at their table for me and for so many of our year-round members, and for most especially our students. By the way they mix and mingle with them without being shy as older folks. Older folks sometimes tend to fall back away from young people, but they didn't. And they were well received and still are. And being a resource then for those young students over the years in their budding careers and mentors and even little conversations out on that patio, right out there. A few years back, they joined some 40 of us walking the Camino de Santiago in Spain, a 1,200-year-old pilgrimage, walking and talking with so many of our students along the way, showing interest in them, giving them lives that mattered, that you could see in their eyes and in their questions how much they mattered. You see, Kathy and Tom are products of this good work. And they are kindlers as well, even then and now. Taking this good work even further with us and for us. And so it is just right and just that in this very place, in these very pews, near that very hammock, at this very altar, we present them with this most coveted award that is named after St. John Cardinal Henry Newman, for people who exemplify, who embody our mission to create a hospitable home for our students away from home and with everyday hospitality and interest. I can't think of a gift that could be better, like we did for them in the very beginning, helping them now. These are students that are ours and some of them all around us here tonight, helping them become healthier and happier and holier out there in the world. Right here, we get to be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens, the room where it happens. Right here. Tom and Kathy, please come forward if you would.
Thank you, Gary, for that amazing introduction. Nice to see he was paying attention all those years. Kathy and I were in Humboldt. We were told that we would be the recipients of the 2023 Newman Award. Our 10-year-old asked if we'd be getting a trophy as the award winners. And I said, not only that, but our names would be inscribed on a plaque listed next to the prestigious previous winners, which include Chancellor Danforth, Chancellor Wright, and Kathy Denault. So the front page of the CSC website says, I quote, "The Catholic Student Center is a home away from home for students at Washington University in St. Louis." When you ask students about their experiences here, you'll often hear that same line repeated, but what does that really mean? You know, I take the concept of home for granted. When I'm with this amazing lady next to me, I feel at home. My physical home is just a block down the street. St. Louis has been my home most of my adult life. Home is where you feel safe, surrounded by people who care about you, and where you find rest and rejuvenation. Students, especially as they begin their college years, often struggle with being separated from their home. They miss their family, they miss their groups of friends that may have cultivated over 12 years of schooling, they miss the physical comforts of their home. They may not be sure how or if they fit in with these new students here. If you read the WashU Reddit page, which is an online bulletin board, people post messages, you'll often see missives from students expressing their loneliness. Especially during COVID, when students were limited to single rooms, the epidemic of isolation was really pervasive. I've had the privilege of getting to know some students here on a longitudinal basis, Kathy and I both. And when we talk about what they value at the CSC, they'll frequently speak about the community in ways that were surprising. They value the fact that it was a venue where the opportunities to form deep friendships and were frequently available. They sensed that the CSC was a place that worried more about more than just their academic advancement. The community was welcoming wherever they were on their faith journey, which unfortunately, of course, is not always the case in our churches. Finally, the physical space. A house with numerous places to study in comfort, be physically fed, have the opportunity to grow in their faith, and interact with people who cared about them made the CSC a haven of safety. I know there are people here who are supporters of the CSC but haven't had the chance to be actively involved in how the community serves the students. On an evening such as this, when you've just been asked to stretch your generosity, I want to assure you that the time, talent, and treasure that you provide to keep this place running is put to good use by making the students feel like they have a home. As Linda Domeyer, former Director of Development here, used to say, the CSC is forming the next generation of Catholic leaders. Kathy and I are grateful to the community for the way it served us when we were students, and we are privileged to be able to witness the formation of students through our involvement in the community members. You should all be proud of the way the CSC has supported the thousands of students who've been part of this committee on their way to becoming our future Catholic leaders. Thank you again for honoring us as the 2023 Newman Award winners.